The 2025 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was supposed to be a major step forward for Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. After a decent start in Bahrain and encouraging signs during testing, many fans thought Hamilton was slowly adjusting to the SF25 and building momentum. But what actually unfolded in Jeddah was far from that. Instead of moving forward, the weekend turned into one big reminder of how far this new partnership still has to go. And now team principal Fred Vasseur has finally opened up, revealing the real reason behind Hamilton's struggles. And no, it's not just about qualifying or one bad session, it's something much deeper, something that could affect Ferrari's entire season and even Lewis Hamilton's future in the team. During the weekend, it became clear that Hamilton just wasn't comfortable in the car. He tried different approaches, kept working with the team, and kept pushing to find a rhythm, but nothing seemed to click. According to Vasseur, this isn't just about setup or a few missed opportunities. He confirmed that Hamilton is having a hard time connecting with the SF25 on a fundamental level. It's a mismatch, not in terms of talent, but in terms of how the car behaves and how Hamilton naturally drives. This is big, because Hamilton is known for being able to adapt. He's raced through every major regulation change in modern Formula One, and has always found a way to get the best out of his machinery. But with this Ferrari, something's different. In fact, even Hamilton admitted it himself. After feeling confident in Bahrain, he thought he had found something in the setup that would carry over. But by the time he arrived in Saudi Arabia, everything he had learned seemed to vanish. He said it felt like starting from scratch again. Those were his words. If you look at the timing sheets, the numbers tell a tough story. After FP2 on Friday, Hamilton was all the way down in P13. That's not something you'd expect from a 7-time world champion, especially not in a car that many expected to challenge for podiums. He made it to Q3, but could only qualify in 7th, nearly 7/10 off Charles Leclerc, his teammate in the same car. And what made it worse was the way it happened. During FP3, when Hamilton asked his engineer how far off he was in Sector 1, the response came back, 0.7 seconds. Hamilton's only reply, geez. That single word said everything. And that wasn't just frustration talking. It was quiet, stunned disbelief. A feeling that no matter what he tried, the car just wasn't responding. Later, he said over the radio, I just don't have the grip, mate. I don't know. That kind of honesty from Hamilton is rare, and it shows how difficult things have become inside the cockpit. To make matters more concerning, this isn't just a one-off issue in Jeddah. This has been happening since the start of the season. Hamilton has been trying everything, adjusting engine braking, suspension settings, changing his driving lines, but nothing is making a consistent difference. Every lap feels like a challenge. Every session feels like a gamble. And now, with Vasseur finally speaking out, we know it's not just bad luck or teething problems. It's a deeper disconnect. Vasseur backed up Hamilton's feelings after qualifying and said openly that Lewis is simply not connecting with the SF25. That's a worrying thing to hear from the team boss, especially considering that Ferrari spent months designing this car to suit both drivers. If Hamilton can't find the rhythm, and we're not talking about a rookie here but one of the most successful drivers in history, then maybe the problem isn't with the driver. Maybe it's with the car. In fact, even Leclerc had issues. He told the team during FP3 that the car felt like it had reached its limit. He said it was sliding on all 4 tires and he couldn't push it any harder through the corners. So yes, it's not only Hamilton struggling, but the spotlight shines brighter on him because of who he is. Ferrari signed him with huge expectations. The headlines were massive. Everyone thought this was the move that would bring back Ferrari's glory. But after this performance, people are starting to ask questions. Hamilton is starting races from the midfield instead of the front. In the past, he would turn that into a thrilling comeback, scything through the field with smart tire strategy and incredible pace. But now even that looks uncertain. He's not lacking motivation. He's working harder than ever. But when the car doesn't feel like an extension of the driver, every move becomes a risk. That confidence that Hamilton is known for, that ability to sense exactly what the car will do next, it's missing right now. What makes this whole situation even more serious is that Ferrari knows this issue might not be fixed with a simple upgrade. Vasseur hinted that they might need to go deeper and review the car's entire concept. That's not something you usually hear just 2 races into a season, but that's where things are. The SF25, while quick in moments, is unpredictable. One weekend it looks competitive, the next it looks completely lost. This kind of inconsistency is dangerous for a team trying to win titles, and it's even more dangerous when you've just brought in a superstar driver like Hamilton. Ferrari now finds itself under major pressure, not just from fans, but from inside the team. The engineering staff needs to figure out why this car behaves the way it does, and whether it can be shaped to suit both drivers' needs. If they can't do that, the problems won't stop here. The rest of the season could be full of these disappointing results, and as we all know, Formula One is not a forgiving sport. If one team slips, another is always ready to take their place. Right now, McLaren, Aston Martin, and even Mercedes are watching closely. If Ferrari stumbles, the door is wide open for them. And that brings us back to the bigger question. Was this just a normal adjustment phase for Hamilton, or are we already seeing cracks in the Ferrari-Hamilton relationship that may not be easy to repair? Everyone knew that joining a new team would come with growing pains, but few expected it to be this difficult. Hamilton is doing his part. He's giving feedback, testing solutions and staying focused, but if the car continues to behave unpredictably, how long will that patience last? Ferrari has to act fast. The next few races will be crucial, not just for points, but for morale, for momentum and for trust. Because if Hamilton starts to feel that this project isn't going anywhere, then it could affect more than just results. It could affect the entire energy within the team. It's also about communication. Right now, the conversations between the drivers and the engineers are more important than ever. Every practice session, every qualifying run, every post-race debrief, they all matter. Ferrari needs to listen not just to the data but to the feelings of their drivers, especially a driver like Lewis, who's proven time and time again that when the car feels right, he can do incredible things with it. The truth is, Lewis Hamilton isn't just fighting lap times, he's fighting to find his rhythm. And for a driver like him, rhythm is everything. When it's there, he's unstoppable. When it's not, everything becomes a struggle. Right now, it looks like he's in that struggle phase, and the big question is how long it will last. As fans, we all want to see Hamilton and Ferrari succeed. It's a pairing full of history, emotion and massive potential. But after Saudi Arabia, the dream looks shaky. And with Fred Vasseur's confirmation that this isn't just a one-weekend problem, the pressure has never been higher. Will Ferrari be able to give Hamilton the car he needs? Can the SF25 be reshaped, retuned, or rethought in time to turn things around? Or will this season slowly slip away, race by race? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. This chapter in Hamilton's career is going to be one of the most fascinating we've ever seen. Not because it's easy, but because it's hard. And sometimes the real test of greatness isn't in how you win, but in how you fight through the toughest times. And here's where the real concern lies, not just in performance but in what this disconnect could do over the course of a long season. Hamilton is a rhythm driver. He relies on confidence and flow. When he feels connected to the car, he becomes a machine. We've seen it for years at Mercedes, but when that trust in the car is missing, even a champion can look ordinary. It's not about talent, it's about chemistry. And right now, the chemistry between Hamilton and the SF25 just isn't there. Let's dig into that car a bit more, because that's where a lot of this story lives. The SF25 was designed with a clear goal to be fast on one lap and competitive. In race conditions, it has some serious strengths. Straight-line speed isn't bad. On paper, it has the tools to fight for podiums. But in reality, it's been a very inconsistent machine. One weekend it shows pace, the next, it falls completely off the map. That kind of unpredictability is the worst thing for a driver like Hamilton, who needs consistency to build trust with the car. Take Jeddah, for example. It's a high-speed circuit that demands sharp turn-in, strong rear grip, and stability in the braking zones. Hamilton never felt those things all weekend. The car was sliding, the grip wasn't there, and every attempt to fix it through setup changes didn't solve the root of the problem. That tells us something important. The issue isn't just in the settings. It might be baked into the design of the car itself. And this is where Ferrari has a massive decision to make. Do they continue to tweak and adjust the current concept? Or do they admit that something fundamental needs to change before it's too late in the season? Because if the base of the SF25 doesn't suit Hamilton's style, and to some extent even Leclerc's, then continuing down this path without real change could cost them dearly in both championships. Another layer to this is the pressure within the Ferrari garage. The media attention is relentless. Every move Hamilton makes is under the microscope. Every session is dissected. Every quote is analyzed. And when you're a new driver at Ferrari, that pressure is doubled. This isn't just any team, it's Ferrari. The expectations are sky high. And when you add a 7-time champion to the mix, the spotlight becomes even harsher. Fans expected instant results, but what we're seeing is a reality check. No matter how good the driver is, if the car isn't there, there are limits. Let's also remember that this is not a simple driver switch. This is Hamilton's legacy move. He left a team he helped build into a dynasty, Mercedes, to join Ferrari and chase history. He wanted to do what legends like Schumacher did. But so far it's been anything but a fairy tale. And that's not to say it can't turn around, but right now it's looking like a long and tough road ahead. The interesting thing is, Hamilton himself is not making excuses. That's a key point. He's owning the struggle. He's not pointing fingers at the team, not blaming engineers or strategy. Instead, he's saying, I just don't have the grip, I don't know why. That honesty is rare. And it shows he's not just frustrated, he's confused. That confusion is dangerous, because when a driver stops believing in the car, that's when performances begin to slide. That's when frustration turns to doubt. And that doubt can affect everything, from how you approach a race weekend to how you communicate with your engineers. This is why Ferrari needs to move quickly. They cannot let this disconnect grow deeper. They need to find answers. not just to improve lap times but to rebuild that trust between Hamilton and the machine. Because make no mistake, this is about more than just hardware. It's psychological. When the driver feels